Last night it seemed I could not sleep, and when I did, I had a dream. I saw your face and tears of love rain down. So this is really happening. It's not just hopes, it's not just dreams, 'cause this is real. It's time, it's here, it's now. For better or for worse, for rich or for poor, I stand in the church and stare at the doors. I can hardly breathe, and here comes the bride. You walk down the aisle and we meet eyes. It's hard not to laugh, it's hard not to cry. It's good we just repeat, 'cause we don't have the words to say. But this is our wedding day. We'll laugh, we'll dance, we'll cry. It's hard, it's great, it's just alright. Through all of this, just know I'm on your side. For better or for worse, for rich or for poor, I stand in the church and stare at the doors. I can hardly breathe, and here comes the bride. You walk down the aisle and we meet eyes. It's hard not to laugh, it's hard not to cry. It's good we just repeat, 'cause we don't have the words to say. But this is our wedding day, in sickness and in health. As long as we both shall live. For better or for worse, for rich or for poor, I stand in the church and stare at the doors. I can hardly breathe, and here comes the bride.
Beats fast, colors and promises. brought your heart to me. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 One step closer. One step closer. I've died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000.
We're assembled together here in the sight of God and in the presence of these witnesses to celebrate the joining together of Matthew Bryant Smith and Lauren Elizabeth Palmer in the bands of holy matrimony according to the ordinance of God, the custom of the Christian Church, and to ask on their behalf the blessing of God. Matthew and Lauren are so happy to share this moment with you. They've known most of you for several years. You've watched them grow up. You've gone to school with them. You've worked with them. And you spent time with them. And because you are the ones who have supported them and have known them so well, it is only fitting that you are the ones to share this once-in-a-lifetime moment with Matthew and Lauren. Now, as a wedding is very serious with lifetime commitments and vows, Matthew and Lauren have asked that also that the ceremony not be too stiff. So, on that note, I don't know if you heard about the Sunday school teacher. She was teaching a little boy about how God created human beings. So the child became especially focused when the teacher explained how Eve was created from Adam's rib. So later on in the week, the boy's mother saw him lying down on the floor. She asked him what was wrong. He replied, "Mom, I have a pain in my side. I think I'm getting a wife."
Nailed it.
Well, the good news today is Matthew doesn't have a pain in his side.
Wait, do you have a pain?
He is getting a wife, and Lauren loves to rib him. So marriage is an honorable and holy union, but a fun union. Instituted by God, sanctioned and honored by Christ's presence at the marriage in Cana of Galilee, and likened by St. Paul to the mystical union which exists between Christ and his church. It was ordained of God as the foundation and bond of family life, for the mutual help and comfort of husband and wife, and for the well-being of society. Marriage is therefore not to be entered upon lightly or thoughtlessly, but prayerfully in reverence of God, entered voluntarily with full commitment. It is made in the deepest sense to the exclusion of all others, and is entered into with the desire and hope that it will last a lifetime. And so we want to hear what the scriptures say for our help and guidance. Now, Matthew, I don't know if you recall the story of Ruth in the Bible, that there's a man called Boaz who married a woman called Ruth. But before he was married, he was ruthless. But love changed all that. Now, Matthew and Lauren have written their own wedding vows, which they will now affirm to each other. So, would you please join your hands? You'll need one to hold.
That's his.
Just about got them mixed up. That would have been interesting.
Dear Matthew.
And Matthew, will you now declare your vows to Lauren?
Lauren, you are my best friend, my confidant, and the love of my life. We have so much fun together, and I look forward to many years of laughter and joy in our future. I promise I will seek to balance work, play, and family time, and put your happiness before mine. I promise I will be your shoulder to lean on and encourage you through tough times. I promise I will be patient and attentive, even when your work decides to change your job description twice a week, every day for a month.
That's fair.
I vow to grow old with you, as well as grow with you, and hold hands whenever I have a chance. I vow to love your family as much as my own. I will do my best to sleep with the fan on at night. I am so happy to be here with you today in front of our friends and family to celebrate our life together. I see these vows not as promises, but as privileges. I get to laugh with you, cry with you, care for you, walk with you, and build my life and love with you. Today I marry you without hesitation or doubt. I love you, and I'm excited for us to start our long life together.
Amen.
Good job. Yours are better than mine.
Now, Lauren, will you now declare your vows to Matthew?
So, Matthew, today I am the luckiest girl because I get to marry my best friend and the love of my life. Today we are forever changed. Today I make promises to you that I will keep forever. I promise to give you the best of myself, and I promise to respect you as your own person, with different interests, different needs, and different opinions than mine, and treat them as no less important than my own. Even if I think that buying Star Wars Lego for your desk is ridiculous. Because it is. But I let you do it anyways. I will be there by your side every Saturday morning in pajamas, sipping coffee, eating waffles, and watching cartoons. I will forever be there to laugh with you, to get super competitive over Mario Kart with you, and to tackle all of life's challenges with you. I will love you unconditionally through all of life's adventures, through both the highs and the lows. I promise to always listen to what you have to say, even if we don't see eye to eye. And I will do my best to listen when you tell me things as I'm falling asleep at night. I'm sorry, honey, but it's really hard to listen when I'm so tired. But I'm going to work on that. I can't wait to grow together and fall more and more in love each day. I can't wait to start a family with you because I know you'll make an amazing father. I promise to always be there to encourage and inspire you. I marry you today, loving what I know of you and trusting what I do not yet know. You're my world, my hope, all my dreams, and you have all my love. I love you.
Love you.
Could you see yourself growing old with me, watching my hair turn to gray? Could you live with me in my mistakes, in the ones I have yet to make? So when our eyes have seen their better days, and our hearing starts to fade, push your arms around my neck and your heart on my chest. I love you will still sound the same. I love you will still sound the same.
One of the nice things about being in a room with Lauren is there are never any of those awkward silences. Okay, more bluntly, she does like to talk. So when Nancy and I heard about this, at the time, new relationship with Matthew, we were thinking, boy, I hope he's a good listener. So eventually Lauren brought Matthew around to the house. I think it was one of our traditional Friday beer and pizza nights at the house. We had a chance to meet Matthew. And we were quite curious to see how the two of them would actually be interacting, how this dynamic would work. But it was a very enjoyable evening, but it was very eye-opening as well, because eventually later in the evening after they left, Nancy and I turned to each other and said, oh my gosh, he talks more than Lauren does. But as we got to know Matthew, we began to appreciate, okay, it was probably a very stressful evening for him, the first meeting of the girlfriend's parents and all that. And he settled into a very congenial guest at the house when he comes over now. So I think that was an unusual night. But pleasant and congenial kind of guest, that kind of undersells Matthew as well. I think Matthew is very quick to help when he comes over, whether it's fixing our electronics, which is always appreciated, or even as simple as jumping in to help with the dishes or whatever after a meal. That's a very helpful fellow. He's an incredibly mature fellow for his age. He's kind of got that life plan in mind, which is amazing for a fellow of his age. Very reliable, very considerate, well-grounded. Sorry, with the election being called today, I slipped on that one. Very considerate and caring individual. He's got great taste in beer. In short, he's got all the traits that a parent would like to see in a partner for his daughter. I mean, this is just great. Perhaps the only factor that Matthew needed a bit of work on, though, is his sense of timing. And I say that with one specific instance in mind. About a little over a year ago, I was sitting back in the family room one evening and watching a stage from the Giro d'Italia. For those of you that don't follow cycling, that's the Italian version of the Tour de France. But there was a very exciting stage of this race going on. These guys were hammering each other, going up the mountainside. Ryder Hejjedal, Canada's best rider, was in the mix. Very exciting viewing, and then there's a knock on the door. And it's Matthew. Oh, well, what a surprise. I'm guessing he wasn't coming over to watch cycling with me. And I did notice he had a small jewelry box in his hand. So I don't think I actually said out loud, can this wait? And as it turned out, Matthew has a bit of he does have a conservative, that's not the right word either, traditional streak in him, because the point in coming over was to let us know that he was planning to propose to Lauren, and he just wanted to make sure there were no concerns or complaints on our part. So far be it from complaints or objections, we were and are delighted that Matthew and Lauren have found each other, and so obviously love and care for each other. And Lauren and Matthew, we think you found a terrific partner.
I'm a strong believer in prayer. And there was one point in our lives where I was praying that Matthew would find a partner. And, it was funny because all of a sudden Lauren arrived. She came on the scene with her feisty brand of humor. It is. And her vulnerable compassion and her desire to be loved. And we fell in love with her. And we were so glad when Matthew brought you around, and we were so glad that you've been part of our lives.
And for those who don't know me, my name is Jean Smith, and I am now Lauren's mother-in-law. Yes. What is hard for me to figure out is how my quiet, most of the time, reserved, observant little boy grew into the man capable of negotiating his way into the heart of someone as wonderful and perfect for him as Lauren. Matthew's always been good at figuring things out, which really irritates me when he tells me to Google it. So what is the role of the mother-in-law? Well, we all know that advice, tactfully given, is one of the main premier jobs of the mother-in-law. So, now is my opportunity to give you my first piece of advice. Lauren. My first word of advice to you is to do exactly what you've been doing. I have never seen Matthew so happy, so content, and needless to say, so well organized in my life. You truly complement each other in a wonderful way. And we are just so thankful that the Lord brought the two of you together.
When your legs don't work like they used to before, and I can't sweep you off of your feet, will your mouth still remember the taste of my love? Will your eyes still smile from your cheeks? Darling, I will be loving you till we're 70. And baby, my heart could still fall as hard at 23. And I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe just the touch of a hand. Well, me, I fall in love with you every single day. And I just wanna tell you I am. So honey, now take me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Place your head on my beating heart. I'm thinking out loud.
On February 8th of '89, a girl was born, that sister of mine. 5 months before, the 12th of September, the Smiths were welcoming another member. In Canada, they both lived and grew, just streets apart, but neither knew that they would someday meet and fall in love and stand before us all. But let's not get ahead just yet. First, back to long before they met. As a child, they all say, the boy was quite content to play with Sister Jessica and Brother John, and sometimes his best friend Gaston. The girl with two older brothers who loved to jest. She always believed that they knew best. At the age of 4, she finally learned to sit upon the toilet to take a much-needed nature break. She feared gargantulas and would hold on tight to Prudence and Pinky Bear throughout the night. Accident-prone? Are you kidding? It's no wonder she's taken up knitting. But skating and soccer were the sports she chose. It's a wonder how she never broke any toes. Now back to the boy. I can't help but realize some of his childhood traits are still easy to recognize. Never wanting to sleep, at least now he seems to know, on the ground or where his bed sheets are not meant to go. Matthew was homeschooled throughout early years. It wasn't until high school that he would soon join his peers. At the school Lauren attended, Earl of March it was called, but in this time of their lives, their relationship stalled. But now here's the part you'll want to hear. At Dollarama, 2010 was the year. This girl named Lauren had just gotten a job where sparks would fly with Matthew, the work heartthrob. Although they had known each other before, it wasn't until Dollarama that they began to explore their feelings of attraction, and after sparkly flirting, Matthew asked Lauren on a date, and thus began his courting. Over the years, their feelings grew, from here to Florida, Sudbury, and Cuba, too. They had traveled before, so it wasn't hard to believe that they would travel to Mont Tremblant with Meg and Steve. This is where Matthew asked, "Will you marry me?" Lauren laughed, smiled, and repeated, "Seriously?" So overwhelmed, she forgot to say yes, but we all know her answer would not be hard to guess. So over 1 year later, here we are, taking advantage of the bar and wishing you endless happy times, hopefully with fewer cheesy rhymes. Truly, we're here to celebrate your 2 lives leading up to this date and the 1 life you'll share starting now, forever blessed by your wedding vow. Lauren, although I'm a bit taller than you, you've always been the one I've looked up to. You're full of laughs, spirit, and life. I know you'll make a wonderful wife. Matthew, I'm proud to call you brother. For Lauren, there could be no other. Your patience and humor are perfect for her. I know you're the one if ever there were. So now let's raise a glass and cheers to Lauren and Matthew. Many happy years.
So this is a lot of pressure. I didn't know that Megan's was going to rhyme, and mine doesn't rhyme at all. But actually this is going to start off a little weird for everyone. But it'll make sense to Matthew, and that's what we're here for. So I brought up our sister Jessica, to help me to get this started, I guess. So here we go.
Hey, Matthew,
it's your wedding day.
and I
Came from the stars, and we're here to say, hey, Matthew, it's your wedding day today. The greatest of the friendships that you have made is the girl who you can now call your wife. You and Lauren are the perfect match, and I know that you'll make each other's lives a little bit better every day. From the moment that you two first met stocking shelves at Dollarama, we all knew that you had truly found your best friend for life. The one who is going to support you through thick and thin, and the one who will wake you up for work in the morning because now your mom can't do it for you. Lauren fits into our family so well, and although we are officially welcoming her into our family today, she has been a part of it since the first time you met her 4.5 years ago. I've been married for 11 amazing years, and you were the best man at my wedding 11 years ago, just a couple weeks ago. It's not always easy, but it's worth it.
Sound the same. I can see our dreams inside of a child long after ours fade away.
The truth is that marriage as a start is an empty box. You must put in something before you can take anything out. So there is no love in marriage, the love is in people. The people put love in marriage. There is no romance in marriage. You have to infuse it into your own marriage. And the couple must learn the art and form the habit of giving, loving, serving, praising, of keeping the box full. If you take out more than you put in, the box will be empty. So Matthew, formally, from my half of the family, I'd like you to welcome you into our family, but I have felt you have been apart for so long already, and that we all love you as well. In closing, I have just 2 quotes I found using the internet, of course. What a lovely help. And this one, I was rather surprised to find, is supposed to be a quote from Martin Luther. And Lauren comes from a family of Lutherans. That was our church. And he said, "Let the wife make the husband glad to come home, and let him make her sorry to see him leave."
When our ring starts to rust and our skin starts to age, remember the promise we made. Hey! So when our eyes have seen their better days and our hearing starts to fade, put your arms around my neck and your heart on your chest. I love you will still sound the same. I love you will still sound the same. Hey, yeah. say forever ain't enough, we'll stick to our guns. Our grip will loosen up when we say forever ain't enough. So when our eyes have seen their better days and our hearing starts to fade, put your arms around my neck and your heart on my chest. I love you will still sound the same. I love you will still sound